Hi everyone. I'm audible? So I would like to start the session with a question. It is a little difficult one, but let's give it a try. So how many of you have seen the cartoon series Phineas and Ferb? Okay. And how many of you wanted to be like them when you grow up? Great. I was one of you, and today I will be sharing my journey, how I went from dreaming about having a robot to actually building them. And during the session, I will also be giving you 3 reasons why you should give it a try as well. So let's start from beginning. As a child, I was very interested in robotics and tech. I used to watch all the cartoon series and sci-fi movies and TV shows. But at that time, I had zero idea how these things work and how you can make it your own. But during that time, I had a habit of opening all the toys which I bought within like the first 24 hours. And it has been my track record. I was not able to assemble back any of those toys, and I was pretty habitual of scolding for my parents. Few years passed by, and I remember I was in 6th or 7th grade when I got to know about internet. It was pretty magical for me. I could ask any question to the Google. I could Google it, and I will receive related articles and videos on how robot works, how you can make them. So I started spending a lot of my time in cyber cafe. Yeah, 10 years, 12 years back, cyber cafes were quite popular. And with the newfound knowledge, I started with developing some small, simple robots for my science exhibition in school. So I started developing these kind of simple robots, and time passed by. While I was searching on internet about all the robots out there in the world and in India, there was one thing which I used to think, which used to ping me a lot. When I was growing up, my thought of a robot was a human-sized figure which has both arms and legs and which can move around just like humans, which can walk like human and which can perform the basic movement. But all the robots out there in India were either on wheels, they were structured on wheels, or if they were walking, they were quite small. They were like 1.5 feet tall. And so I and my friend decided, okay, enough of waiting, let's make our own. And it was during our first year in BTech. So there was a summer break between second semester and third semester, 2 month period. We decided let's give it a try. And to keep the cost low, we decided to build all the internal parts like the actuators on our own. We started the project, and as the time passed by, we realized the reality hit us hard, and we realized that it is a very difficult problem. That was the reason why nobody was giving it a try. And the reason, as humans, we don't realize while we walk, there is a lot going, there is a lot that our body is doing. Our joints move in a sequence. We shift weight, we balance our body, and a lot of other things are happening. So we tried with different mechanisms and algorithms. After 2-3 failed attempts, finally after 8 months, we were finally able to make telescope. This was a 5 feet tall humanoid which walked, and it was India's first humanoid that was able to walk. And as per my knowledge, till date, this is the only humanoid that India has which is of human size and that can walk. So this was it. And during our college days, we used to participate and win hackathons, and we used to use that fund to sponsor our robotics research. And during that time, we also started doing projects for other startups. We used to do R&D work for them. So during 2022, before the COVID, we were working on one such project, and soon the lockdown came, and so we had to move back to our hometown, Bulandshahr. So we decided to just like this, we decided to carry the project that we were working on with all the components and the tools that we need back to our home. We had a thought that whenever we'll get time, we'll work on it, we'll complete the project. So at home, I started watching videos of China, news of China where the lockdown was implemented. There I saw people were using robots to help medical professionals out there. And it came to my mind, okay, this too we can also do. So I sat with my team and we modified the robot that we already had. In 4 or 5 days, we had a robot which was able to carry medical essentials, which was able to go from isolation ward to another isolation ward, which could help doctor to have telepresence with the patients, and a couple of other important features. We had the robot ready, but we had no idea how we can put this into actual use. Out of nowhere, a newspaper decided to cover our story, and just like that, within 2 days, we got a call from our district magistrate office. We showcased our robot there, and he was so impressed by the robot that he gave us 8 robot order that we need to deliver, that will be utilized in the COVID isolation wards and the hospital in our district and the nearby districts. We celebrated it for a while, but we soon realized this is a problem in itself. Developing 8 robots in 30 days span is not that easy. And at the time when most of the supplies are not available. So we did some brainstorming and we did multiple things to solve this problem. We simplified the design process. We took help from our family and friends in the assembly process. We procured some components from the nearby market in Delhi, and then we we took some components from the nearby market in Delhi, and there were some parts still left that we were not able to find out. So we replaced them with the spare parts that are found in the home appliances. And with this, we started developing robots, and those were successfully implemented in all the hospitals and COVID isolation wards. As media started covering our robotic journey, we got orders from nearby hospitals. And I remember there was a day when within a week we need to deliver 4 robots, and 2 of the robots we needed to ship to a hospital in Mathura. So which we decided, okay, let's work smartly and let's make modules. We developed modules, and it is going to be a 3-hour journey from our home to the hospital that we have to install it. So we decided that we will assemble the entire robot during a transportation inside an ambulance. And this is the actual photo. So we assembled 2 robots inside an ambulance, and when we reached there, both the robots were ready to be deployed. Time passed by, and we worked on other projects. We were fortunate enough to work with companies like Amazon. So there are Amazon warehouses in Manesar. So we did automation project there. And in 2022, 3 years back, we decided to make another project, again a robot. So this time we wanted to do some research on autonomous navigation and manipulation. So with this thought, we developed a robot by the name Hadron. It is a 6 feet tall, entirely 3D printed humanoid robot, which has advanced sensors, light, LiDAR, and depth camera. It has an inbuilt GPU. And what this robot can do is, it can navigate inside a building on its own. Just like a self-driving car, it is a smaller subset of that bigger problem. So this robot can navigate autonomously, it can guide people, and this robot can also pick and place objects on its own using the vision and the algorithms that it has. So this is how we developed all these robots. And and we were invited by IIT Bombay to unveil our robot. So we unveiled this robot at TechFest 2022. While I was presenting all my robots, there was one common question that all students used to ask me. How can they start with robotics? What is the right way of learning robotics? And over time I realized this is a fairly big problem. Even if I look at my own journey, it was a pretty rough one because I didn't know where are the resources, from where to find the resources. To solve this, I started a Hadron Robo Labs. At Hadron Robo Labs, we designed kits and curriculum to make students fall in love with robotics, and we try to teach them core concepts in a very playful manner. So this has been my journey, and now I would like to give you 3 reasons why you should give robotics a try. So firstly, practical learning. engineering is all about practical knowledge. And let me try to give you an example. If I try to map your engineering syllabus with the skills required to make a very basic robot like a robot arm, so you are taught skills like AutoCAD, and you have mechanical workshops. So that thing is sufficient to make a basic robot arm structure. And then you have C++ classes, matrices and determinants are taught in maths. So you can combine these things to program your robot. It is not that difficult. And trust me, there is a very big difference in seeing your code print hello on the screen and seeing your code do control a motor. So you are missing a lot of fun. And the second reason is there is a huge opportunity. When I was in school and college, there was one robot unveiled in 1 or 2 years. But nowadays, every month there is a new humanoid out there in the market. All the big tech giants are betting big on robotics. And if you look at this from another perspective, if you look at all the things that could be automated in our homes or in factories, so most of the automation that was possible has already been done. And whatever is left for robots and humanoids to be taken care of. For example, at our home we have washing machine that can wash our clothes, that can dry those clothes. Now the missing puzzle is we need a set of robotic arms that can take those clothes out of it. They can fold it and put it into the closet. So, and similar cases for factories and industry, there is a lot of jobs that humans are currently doing that are well suited for humanoid robots. And the last and the most important reason is it is very interesting. Thank you guys. You have been a lovely audience.